The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
With so many people living longer, the fear of outliving your money becomes a reality for many of us. Will I be a financial burden? Will I outlive my money? How will I be remembered? My name is Neil Himmelstein, president of Main Street Planning Group. Please contact me by visiting mainstreetplanninggroup.com. That's mainstreetplanninggroup.com, or call 631-647-4694. I will introduce you to strategies that will guarantee you will not outlive your money, that can guarantee you will not be a burden on your loved ones. Through a collaborative approach, we will uncover solutions that offer tax-efficient strategies, lifetime income, and legacy planning, choice, organization, direction, and education. That is the code we stand behind. Contact mainstreetplanninggroup.com. That's mainstreetplanninggroup.com, or call 631-647-4694. And listen to me every Friday at 3 p.m. as I host the Main Street Code for Financial Success, right here on 103.9 LI News Radio. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein, and you know where to reach me, 631-647-4694. You can always drop by my website at themainstreetcode.com. And when we talk about our code, we talk about choice, organization, direction, and education, and we help hundreds of advisors across the United States, as well as accountants and CPAs, in helping you plan your insurance needs, whether it be life insurance, long-term care, annuities, pensions. We get involved in all kinds of different issues and hope to be your source for insurance, whether it's for you personally or for your advisors, or if you need us to help put your financial team together, as we talk about on our show all the time. You want to have expert advice in all these areas, and you want your accountant, attorney, and insurance professional, as well as your investment professional, all be on the same page working for you. Today, I'm very honored to have with me a special guest and friend, Teresa Garzon. And Teresa, would you introduce yourself?
Thank you, Neil. My name is Teresa Garzon. I live and work right here, close by in West Sayville. I've been doing payroll for 17 years. I work for iSolved. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, thank you for being here. Now, I like to say, Teresa's a payroll expert, and the difference between small business, and we work with a lot of businesses, and in the benefit side on the insurance and whatnot, but the difference between a small business and the big business is HR. And HR is something that, human resources involves taking care of a lot of different things, such as making sure your payroll is correct, making sure your benefits are correct. There's all kinds of things that can happen. And as you're starting your business, or if you have a small business, it's a two-person business, whether you're a contractor or a plumber, or you just have a small insurance business, whatever it is, and a lot of people try and do things themselves and think they're cutting costs, or they'll pay a full-time bookkeeper or something, this and that. But payroll is something that you want to outsource and have somebody who watches your back, like Teresa and her company. And tell us, what does a payroll company do, actually?
So it keeps you in compliance for all your payroll taxes and year-end filings. If you were doing it on your own, you can have a lot of penalties and interest on those fines. So in essential, an employer is acting like a tax agency. They're withholding this money, and they have to remit it to the state and federal departments. So they can come into a lot of problems, and I see that. So we're here to help. There's about 10 tax returns an employer is responsible for. So we can help make sure those are timely, accurately filed, and take some of that administrative burden off the employer, because that's not revenue generating.
That's a great point. A lot of people try and do it yourself and think that they're saving money, where they end up costing themselves money, because this is not a function. I know when I started my business, there's so many things I had to think about. Do I have the right insurances? I didn't want to worry about, Fortunately, I actually messed up on a couple things, and I got fined by the state for workers' comp. I didn't have the right coverages or the right this or the right that. I mean, it's not something I want to worry about. I want to worry about building my business and growing my business and letting somebody else. I've always had a payroll company do my things. And Teresa in particular, I've known for a long time. And one of the things that she does with her company, which differentiates her from a lot of the big payroll companies, not that they're not a big payroll company and can't accommodate your needs, but they give you individual service. And I'll tell you where that was important. When COVID hit, a lot of things went on. There was these PPP loans, there was this loan, there was that loan. Teresa was on the front lines. And I know that you may have an accountant and this and that, and the accountants use payroll companies. The ones that are trying to do payroll by themselves are doing you a disservice. You really want a separate service just to handle it. And accountants love payroll companies because accountants like to do the books. They like somebody to hand them the numbers. They just need to input them. And if you need to make extra deductions or do this, that's what accountants do. But they don't want to do the books. If they're trying to do the books and do that, they're doing too much. They need people like Teresa, who you got PPP loans for people.
Yeah, I also did the employee retention tax credit.
Oh yeah, tell me about what is that employer retention tax credit? Because I think I should have that. Tell me what that's all about.
So yeah, the employee retention tax credit is, employers are eligible for this tax credit during the pandemic. So is it a little bit different than the PPP because there's no application process or forgiveness. So it's a lot easier, but you do have to qualify. So you do need a specialist to consult with, like myself, or your accountant. But I helped a lot of restaurants get it because they had government restrictions on their businesses. So they were entitled to up to 70% of their employees' wages per quarter. So it could be $7,000 per quarter that they were entitled to.
Wow. What does that mean if they get a credit? What does that mean?
Well, it's actually, it works as like a refund because they already paid the taxes. So they're getting a refund and it's a check that they get to their business. And I've made a lot of people happy with that.
Wow. I'm not sure if I applied or did. I think my accountant did that for me, but I'm not sure.
You may have had to show a loss if you didn't have government restrictions or closures.
Yeah. I'm one of the few businesses I know that didn't apply for a PPP loan. Because when COVID hit, my business actually was better than it was prior to COVID because I was fortunate enough and saw the writing on the wall and adapted to that. And part of the way I adapted was rather than have an employee, I outsourced a lot of the things that one of my employees was doing in the marketing side. And I outsourced my payroll and I outsourced that. And it allowed me to just concentrate on building my business virtually, partly with the radio show and partly in other ways. And that was a big help to me. And Teresa's right there as one of those people in my orbit, I like to say, that's very helpful there.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now, thank you. So a lot of tax laws change too. And different things have been happening. Always do, but particularly with COVID and post-COVID, and I hate to say it, but my employee right now has COVID. My daughter just texted me at 4:30 in the morning in Hawaii that she has it for the fourth time, even though she's very cautious. But it's still a thing. But at the end of the day, there's been a lot of government help and difference, which affects payroll, correct?
Yeah, and we have the HR that will be proactive to help to make sure the policies are in place. There's a new pay transparency law that just was in effect in January that employers with 4 or more in New York State have to comply with to show the range, the pay range for their open positions. So payroll has evolved from just paying employees to being really a human capital management. So from, posting out to, we have 4,000 job boards, 1,500 are free job boards, to open benefit enrollment. So it became more of a technology, learning management systems, assigning out courses to your employees and, maintaining those dates of expiration. So we really, in the past, maybe 10 years ago, this may have been something for a large organization with 1,000 employees. But right now we're seeing, employers with just, 20 employees that need these services, especially those HR services.
Absolutely. And like I said, you could hire an HR person, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but, if you're a small business and you're creating business all the time and this and that, you can kind of outsource it in a sense, a lot of the duties to a great quality payroll company, and you need to have that personalized service. Teresa, Tell me again, give me your phone number and how somebody can get a hold of you if they need your services.
So my phone number is 631-223-6710, and you can call me and I could be happy to discuss with you your payroll needs.
Fantastic. And you're listening to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. Again, if you need to reach out to me, 631-647-4694 for any of your questions whatsoever. And you can always look me up at themainstreetcode.com. And we're going to be right back after a few seconds. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. And I'm here with my guest, Teresa Garzon, who is a specialist, payroll specialist for iSolved, which is a great company. It's a little different than some of the other payroll companies in it. Tell me a little bit about iSolved and what's the difference between your payroll company and some of the big names that I know that you hear out there.
So, iSolved has been around for 36 years, so we have a lot of experience. We are in all 50 states. We have 145,000 employers that use our payroll technology and services for HR. And we actually started with COBRA, so we can, help with that and the flex benefits, but we don't do insurance. And we were just actually rated the #1 workforce management technology in the mid-market.
Wow, that is fabulous. What do you mean? What kind of technology?
So it's the whole employee life cycle from, hire to retire. So everything to maintain your employees, keep them happy, keep them engaged. We have everything from predictive analytics to expense management, time and attendance.
I mean, as a small business, you have access to everything that the big boys got by having Teresa.
Yeah.
And Isn't that amazing?
So I started, I have my accounting certificate. I've been doing payroll and bookkeeping for the last 17 years. So,
wow.
I definitely love to help my clients, keep them in compliance, and just be there always for their service.
So you are an insurance policy against their regular business. That's the way I look at your company and what the services you do. You are ensuring that I'm going to not be harassed by the government, hopefully protect me against a possible employee that is disenchanted for whatever reason, by doing the right things, by having the right books, by keeping me compliant is huge. I mean, that's insurance. I mean, that's in very nature insurance. It's not the benefits of life insurance or disability or the other things that I provide, but it's definitely insurance on the workings of your business, whether you're a 2-person, 1-person business, 2-person business, 20-person business, or 2,000-person business. This is a very inexpensive protection mechanism. It's just, you want to get with a good payroll company, and you want to get with a payroll company with somebody like Teresa who has a personal touch and a vested interest in you. And that's what I like about your company. That's what I like about you, Teresa, to be honest with you. There are accountants, there's attorneys, but I like to work with people who work with me and who are empathetic and who really care about my well-being. I don't want to work with somebody who is just pushing numbers or this and that. I want somebody who knows what I do and what I'm about and how they can help me. And, I don't need hand-holding necessarily, but I want to know that if I run into a situation, I run into a problem, I have somebody to call, not an 800 number, not 1-800 blah, blah, blah. And they stay in their zone. They're not trying to do my business. I'm not trying to do their business. I don't do payroll. I don't do accounting. I don't do legal work. I know enough to get me in trouble, as many of us do, and I don't look up on Google, how do I do things? And if it's not my area of expertise, I want expertise handling my payroll. That's so important. Yeah. What are the problems that name situations that do-it-yourselfers have run into that you've had to fix maybe and help? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so not being in compliance in certain states, we actually have all 50 states covered. So, whether you need those sexual harassment trainings or you just need the tax compliance, you're starting a new business in a new state, we could help set that state up. So we really help any size business. It could be a sole proprietor, one employee, up to our largest client is 13,000 employees.
And how about, do you guys get involved with cyber at all, or cyber protection, or no? That's a big thing now, in the insurance world and in the accounting and attorney world and the banking world. Cyber, of course, is huge. That's another protection that we could talk about on another show. But all these things that, listen, I do insurance. I got to worry about cyber. I got to worry about this. I got to worry about that. Payroll is one thing I don't have to worry about because I have somebody like Teresa, and that's key.
And then with insurance, too, we keep our clients in compliance we have pay-as-you-go with, I think it's about 50 different carriers. We can do the open benefit enrollment if the employees want to waive those elections. We actually record everything and keep them in compliance because there could be some hefty fines for the ACA. I have a current client that, it's $2,500 per employee fine. So wow. They, reached out to us because we can streamline that whole process, keep them in compliance with those year-end filings, the 1094s and 95s, and also, just have a dashboard so you know when your employees are eligible for those benefits.
Right. Now, there's a new transparency thing for wages or something I think you were telling me about that as a small employer myself, I'm not aware of what those changes are.
Yeah, so that's something that's going to be, they're going to take effect in November. So it's something to look into. It's actually for New York State, anyone who has 4 or more workers, that at least one is employed in New York, they have to comply to post these pay ranges for their open positions, or else there will be some fines, I believe.
Wow, pay ranges. So if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you do that and you don't post it, what happens?
I believe there'll be some fines. So we have a proactive approach with HR. So we'll have monthly meetings with the client just to make sure that they're in compliance with all these new laws, especially the ones from COVID.
I see all the time, I know a lot of businesses, they get in trouble for stupid, just ignorant things that they're not aware of. They're just not being made aware of them. And it's troublesome because I'm not up on all this stuff. Who can be up on all this stuff? I got to worry about my business. So how am I up on it? So these people, Teresa's firm, will keep you informed. And they'll let you know. Another thing that employers require is you need a handbook for your employees. Mm-hmm. Isn't that a requirement?
Well, it prevents, for legal purposes, it protects your business. So you want to be proactive than, reactive. So having that in place will help protect your business. Right.
And their firm can help you with that. And post the wages and there's so many little nuances that, particularly in this state is very highly regulated because they're, according to the state, trying to protect the consumer. But in trying to protect the consumer, they have a lot of laws and a lot of regulations. And no matter what business you're in, there are a ton of stuff there. You could be the best at what you do, but if you don't follow the law and do the right regulations, or you can be caught up into a real financial mess and it could shut your business down. And, we don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
So we highly recommend that not only do you have a good CPA, a good investment person, an expert in insurance, a good legal person, and you develop your own team. And like I said, if you don't have a team that's all working together, contact us and we can help you quarterback and coordinate the right people to handle your business and to handle your personal affairs so that everything is not only transparent, but everything works together for you. That's why we have people like Teresa.
Thank
Now, one other thing I want to touch on. Teresa is part of a group that I founded called the Long Island Accounting and Financial Professional Network. And Teresa is on my board as my treasurer and keeps us compliant with our association that we built. And I thank you for that. And,
You're welcome.
And I'm really excited to have Teresa's acquaintance for that. Teresa also has been referred by many banks and other accountants for client. You actually have a bank that is referring her and her firm to help your business. I think that's a huge, huge accomplishment, and that's because of who you are and what you do, and I think that's fabulous. Teresa, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, how can I get in touch with you?
They can call me. My phone number is 631-223-6710.
Fantastic. And of course, you're listening to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm here every Friday at 3 o'clock, and I can be reached at 631-647-4694. You can reach me on the web at themainstreetcode.com. You go on the web and you'll find YouTube videos and lots of information about insurance. And if you have any question whatsoever, your accountant has a question, your attorney has a question, or your attorney and their accountant, and you have an insurance question or you have a fiduciary duty to look over the insurance, reach out to us and we're here to help. Thanks again. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Neil.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.